If air, why not by sea? Dear Billy Frisbee frown. I don't even know what that means. I don't want to know what that means. I don't know. I don't need to know that my frown is weird too. I already have enough physical hang-ups. Frisbee frown. Bill, I'm a little behind on the podcast since I watched my 1-year-old girl full time. Oh yeah, but daughter, you hit the lottery. They're the best. And I have to censor what I play in my house now. Yeah, I understand that. He says a little while ago, you were explaining that you choose not to go into the ocean, saying that it's an unnecessary risk, and basically that we don't belong in there compared to the other animals that do belong. I don't disagree with you, okay? But I am just wondering, by that logic, how you justify going after your pilot's license or whatever it takes to fly your whirlybirds and the like. I was hoping you would compare this while you were talking about it, but I don't think you ever did. Obviously, as humans, we take a lot of crazy risks every day, like just getting in a car and going 70 miles per hour. Yeah, I know, and doing that in the left-hand lane, and all it takes is one fucking asshole on the other side. You ever see that shit, or where the fucking 18-wheeler jackknifes and comes over on the other side? You know, I got the kid in the car now, so I try to stay in the right lane, but everybody's doing 90 miles an hour out here in it. I'll tell you, it's crazy. Anyways, but I would think the pilot thing would fall under the same category as taking a swim on the beach. Thanks as always for the great podcast. My wife always knows if I have you on my headphones by the stupid grin on my face. Go fuck yourself. Great question, sir. Well, the reason why I got a pilot's license was because I read up on the banking system and realized that it was a giant Ponzi scheme. And I was afraid because of how dysfunctional the city that I live in is. You know, you can barely get out of it when it's all working. Forget about if the shit ever hit the fan. How would I get out of here? And the only way I could think was to learn how to fly a helicopter. Get up and get out. Now, I did the first part of the plan. Now, the major part of the plan is to actually have access to a helicopter close by. You know, that's why I did it. And, but I will tell you, it is you know, there is an element of danger to it. But now that I have my kid, I don't solo that much. Every once in a while, I do just to know that I can do it. But for the most part, I'll fly with an instructor. And, you know, I don't do anything crazy. I don't fly in winds beyond a certain amount of knots. And I also will tell you, though, it's way, 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 way safer than getting in a car and going on the highway. And I have experienced both. And I can tell you, there's nobody up there. I mean, there is, but you know what I mean? But there isn't. And it's like we're talking to each other. We're in the same airspace, and we're announcing our position and where we're at. Okay? And if we don't see each other, then you take offensive moves. I guess a defensive move. You're proactive. Like if the guy's at the same altitude, you just tell him, well, okay, I'm going to ascend 200 feet or whatever the fuck you need to do. And then even if you don't see each other to the last second, you're literally like hundreds of feet above or below him, and it's fine. There's no radio contact on the highway, and you are basically flying in formation with people who are on meds. They're texting. They didn't get enough sleep. They suck at driving. They don't maybe they're really good at driving, so they're driving like a fucking lunatic, like everybody else is as good as they are. Those people are probably even more dangerous than someone who just sucks at driving and drives slow. And there's a lot of times that I've, finished flying solo and landed and got in my car, and within 2 miles of going down the street, I watched somebody just fucking T-bone somebody else, somebody go flying off a fucking scooter and land on my side of the fucking road and slide on their face. Somebody just driving in the left lane and just for whatever reason just veers into the fucking, they were texting, weren't paying attention, literally slammed into the median between, both sides of the highway. Fortunately stayed on this side of the highway so they didn't, go up and over and kill somebody, and literally just went spinning 360, like 5 360s across 6 lanes of traffic before slamming like a stock car accident. Nobody near the guy, just fucking did. I see that all of the time. So I understand what you're saying. And I have to be honest with you, like, it is an unnecessary risk. But I find it, most of what I say about the ocean is because I have such a tremendous fear of it. And I just can't get over that all of this shit is, I'm treading water with my head above it. You know what I mean? And everything else is like, I don't know. Would you ever go into a pit of poisonous snakes and then bury your head in the sand? Is they're all just sort of fucking slithering past you? Yeah, and just things can go down. There's things down there that can literally swallow you whole or bite you in half, and they are, 1,000 times faster than you. Yeah, I mean, say what you want about flying. Like the altitude I fly at, like I can still breathe. I don't need any assisted or pressurized cabin or anything like that. You pick your poison. But I'll tell you, like, there's a couple of things that I watch that just, literally make my palms sweat. One of them is cave diving. And if you ever want to just hear the most unbelievable story ever. I forget that fighter's name. He's actually one of my favorite UFC fighters. What is his name? Cowboy something. The guy's from like New Mexico or whatever. He's just like one of the baddest dudes ever. He cave dives, and he was on the Joe Rogan Experience. Just look up Joe Rogan Experience cave diving and just listen to that fucking story. And you're literally listening to the guy that went through it, so you somehow he lives, but still you're like, I was literally sitting there. When you do that thing where you put your hands like over your nose and your mouth, just sitting there, and your index fingers are between your eyes. I was just sitting there like that, just covering my mouth, just listening to this fucking story. The guy literally said that they have a rule down there that when someone gets in trouble in a cave dive, you just leave them because someone's going home. Someone's going to make it home because it's so fucked up down there that if you try to help that person, then both of you are going to die. That's kind of how it starts, and then it goes from there. So anyways, cave diving, and then those people who do that free climbing up skyscrapers. And every time you think they're up to, they make those fucking videos, and every time you think they went up as high, they're literally on the fucking radio tower. And they just keep going up and up and up and up and up. And it's just like, I just sit there like, I don't know how the fuck anybody can do some shit like that. So maybe that's why I said, most of what I say, I saw Jaws at a certain age and I just never got over it. I'm like, I'm all fucking set on that. It's so crazy to me, like, that would you ever go in, into whatever's left of the jungle in Africa where there's just wild fucking hyenas and tigers and lions and fucking hyenas and God knows fucking what out there. Would you ever go out there without a goddamn weapon? Okay?